You mentioned, and I love that you are the first governor, so you saw the onset of the devolution and all the sunrise clauses on how to, devolve the government. When you compare the first term, or the first financial year that you had, what would you say was the on-source revenue? Because you've done so well, looking at your books. I think around 2022, when you came back, the county was around almost 400 million.
Yes.
But now you have $1 billion. You kind of tripled that, 1 point something, 1.2 thereabout. So when you compare the first term and this term, the numbers are giving. But as a voter from Bungoma, would you say they can see the value of the almost 2 trillion that has gone to the county in the last 10, 12, 13 financial years?
Yeah, thank you very much. We have improved, just like you have rightly said. When we got in, it was a virgin land. There was nobody knew about devolution, so we had to set structures. There was still that hangover from the local authorities. We inherited most of the workers from the local authorities, and during those years, there was a lot of pilferage, there was a lot of leakage, so a lot of money was, people were just collecting and paying themselves in the local authorities. So now we had to put in place systems to make sure that we minimize pilferage and leakages, and that's why you can see the on-source revenue is improving. And one of the other ways that we did it was to try to go digital. To minimize human contact with money, because it's very tempting. So we put in place a system that can be able to monitor on time, real time, on, say, revenue collection in Ichwele, in Kimilili, and what is going on. That is why you've seen there's a lot of improvement of the money. When it comes to real value for money, again, that is where the challenge is. Of course, I'll be talking about some of the things that people can see that we did during my first term and maybe the second term when Wangamati came in, and now when I'm there. The biggest challenge has been the wage bill. The wage bill has really been consuming quite a lot of percentage of our money, because again, we inherited, like I told you, we inherited very many staff from the defunct local authorities. So a lot of money has to go in payment of salaries. And then recurrent, that is local running of the county. For example, this is the 2027, 2026, 27, we're talking about a total allocation of about 17 billion coming to Bungoma.
Yeah.
Out of that, only 5%, 5 billion is going for development. Now, when you put into all these other departments, you realize that you may not be able to realize very much. But notwithstanding, there are things that have been done in Bungoma, for example. During my first term, I started put a tarmac road. It's a famous, when I mention people in Bungoma, and people will know, there's the famous Misiku Brigadier Road, which the allege has been launched many times.
Yes.
So we did agree that the national government was going to do from Naitiri to Brigadier. When I went, of course, I done a bit, but when my successor came in, he didn't do anything about it. So when I went back, I've done about 25 kilometers. So I only have 1 kilometer to go. That is the first tarmac road in that Tongareni constituency, the whole sub-county, and it's a very rich area. It's a rich area for us. Then during my first term, I put up the first public high-altitude training center in a place called Chemoge in Mount Elgon. In May, we launched the first phase. We had a marathon there. And what informed me to do that was the realization that Mount Elgon has very many athletes who have won even gold medals, bronze medals for this country. So to tap into the talent of the youth there, I think that was a good strategic project. As we talk now, there is a modern market that we're putting up in Kandui, which it's about 98% complete, should be able to complete it. We have a modern stadium. Of course, I saw the other day people are running some negative, what is it called, news about it. But over the weekend, we had secondary school. The whole stadium was fully packed. Nobody took that to show around the world that now this stadium is working. Okay, that notwithstanding, again, we are completing it. We had a meeting with the minister 2 days ago. We want to put it up to standard so that we can be able to hold even international matches. Again, that is as a result of devolution. We have over 20 markets. Modern markets also coming up, both jointly done by the national government and the county government. If you go to Kamkia market, I put up one of the biggest markets, which is going to give, again, dignity to the the business people. With our roads that we did, although not in a big way, again in Kapsokwan chapter, for the first time there's tarmac there. When we went there, when I went to Bungoma that time, there was only one ambulance. But now, for the first time, every sub-county had an ambulance. We bought new ambulances. We improved the staff in the health sector, environment, water. We now have water. When we went there, there was no rig to drill water. So I think there are quite a number of things that we can touch on. You can